Mr. Blumenauer is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Mr. Secretary, for being here. We appreciate your patience. And as you've had expressed around the table, virtually all of us are interconnected with this global economy. I have two things that I will follow with you in terms of letter. I don't want to take you unawares, but I want to put them as part of the record. I'll follow up. And then one that I would like to engage you in further discussion. One, just reference to the footwear. I come from the Pacific Northwest. I have people in my district who manufacture footwear in the United States. But you'll be receiving a letter that is circulated by Mr. Schrock and me about this issue that deals with being serious about the tariff approach. Because the value of the footwear industry is here in the United States, where the manufacturing, the design, the product, a lot of the manufacturing that comes here that is done domestically comes from a product that is imported to the United States and duty-free. This is distorted. It's not good long-term business for the United States. So I would like you to look at this letter signed by other members. The other letter that I will give you deals with the Peru Free Trade Agreement. I spent a lot of time in working on the environmental and labor provisions so that we could have something that would be bipartisan, that would speak to concerns we've all heard at home, and particularly as it relates to Peru and illegal logging. Having spent so much time on that, I'm a little dismayed, frankly, at the lack of progress. And we've met with the Peruvian authorities. They've done a little bit. I'll be sending you a letter that I would hope that you could give some attention to, because we want the integrity of these environmental protections respected, so it'll make further progress in international trade easier for you and for members of Congress. But the point that I would like to engage with you here in my remaining 2.5 minutes or so, which I'll turn over to you, speaks to what's happened with government procurement. You probably won't be here for a testimony that will be delivered by Mr. Kruzanich from Intel. Part of it speaks to this inequity. The BRIC countries are really not playing fair. They haven't been signatory to the GPA. And we're getting all sorts of unfair practices that are costing American technology in particular, but in a wide range of areas. Frankly, this mystifies me. I think that if they're not going to play games, we ought to be much more aggressive in terms of our government policies towards their procurement activities here. This is not a two-way street. I find that outrageous, and I'm wondering if there isn't something we can do to push back unless and until they are signatories and they play by the rules.
First of all, Congressman, thank you for your cooperation with us on the other two issues. I will respond in writing, but I think you know we have continued to work with Peru to make sure that they understand that forestry annex was real, and it's in their interest, and we are working, and we will continue to. On GPA, I would be interested, and maybe I'll have one of my staff stay, because I agree with you, but the fundamental premise of the government procurement agreement is if you aren't a member of it, you don't get the benefits of it. So, frankly, I'll be curious to hear what the gentleman from Intel says, but China, Russia, those countries that are not signatories to the Government Procurement Act have no protection or no access to any of our access that we grant to other signatories. Now, it is an issue that we continue to press China on because one of the commitments they made when we granted them permanent normal trade status is they would join the Government Procurement Act. They have tabled an offer that we think falls far short of what we need, but they have not yet.
But there are examples of Chinese contracts in the United States that use some government funding frankly, I mean, the bridge in the Bay Bridge, $400 million of Chinese steel, and frankly a screwed up job. It was defective. It ended up costing more in the long run. But our being more aggressive about where they are beneficiaries of money either directly or indirectly that is taxpayer money, that we turn the spigot back unless and until they play by the rules for our companies.
Well, I mean, I can't agree, I don't disagree with your premise. I would love to know what those specific cases are so we can.
Okay, thank
Give
you.
you a better
Time has
judgment.
expired.